here is the S&P 500. We have been on a straight uptrend, so pretty much is extended. And let me just zoom in and focus on the S&P 500. So if you can just tell from this chart, so it's a very straight uptrend and it's very clean as well. So we have a high, 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 low, but do pay attention to this. So as of now, it's still currently overbought and kind of overthrow of this up channel, or the at least the supply line or the overbought line. And if we just take a closer look on the recent rally, so I talked about this last Sunday. So there are some sort of the actually this is 2 weeks ago. So there's some form of the change of character, and with the increasing of the supply, so suggesting that this sort of the very prolonged uptrend might come to an end. However, right after this change of character bar with the spike of the supply, I don't really see any downside follow through. In fact, market reverse. So at that point, last Sunday, I mentioned about that there will be some more rally. So probably until we tested the swing high. So last Friday was interesting. So let's zoom in a little bit here. So last Friday, we have a uptrust. So what exactly is uptrust? So this is the swing high, or the all-time high. And this is, or some people call it a hidden uptrust, because uptrust is something like we have seen a commitment above and followed by a breakback below. So kind of like a temporary commitment above. So in this case, intraday, we have an uptrust, but on the daily chart, it's sort of like a hidden uptrust. But either way, this is a uptrust, and we don't really see a commitment above the swing high level. So that comes with slight increase of the supply level, and that's with the context of the overbought. So we have an overbought condition here corresponding to the increasing of the supply, and with the uptrust, some sort of form of the rejection. So that is kind of a bearish outlook. So what I actually anticipate from here is probably have another test coming down to test the swing low level here. So that will be quite a natural pullback or a reaction from the market. In fact, what I'm actually hoping to see is probably a test of the axis line here. Because if you just take a look at this stretch here, so this is kind of a prolonged uptrend and kind of overbought, and without really tested the very obvious support area. So if the market become very, very bearish, or suddenly the sentiment just shift, like kind of having the news of the COVID-19, maybe it's kind of getting worse in many countries, then we might see a pullback. If the immediate support level at this swing low, somewhere around 46.20, cannot hold, then we might see a further down move to test the axis line. So this is a very important support area or support axis line. So somewhere around 45.50. But either way, whether it tested the swing low or tested the 45.60, if we look at the uptrend from slightly larger perspective, it's still very much a strong bull run, right? So let's go to the other index. Next one is probably very similar to S&P 500. It's a Nasdaq 100. So you can see that Nasdaq 100 is very much very similar. It's like overbought. So we have an overbought situation, and it's even stronger than the S&P 500. So let me zoom in here. Okay, so oh sorry, this is still the S&P. Okay. All right, so here we have a Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is in a very well-defined uptrend. So you can see this uptrend with a higher high, higher low throughout. And currently we are having this overbought overthrow condition, and after a very extensive run up. So very similar to S&P 500, but it's even stronger than the S&P 500. So you can see that it's kind of commit above, but ultimately I still see that there will be some sort of the pullback or correction on its way, because a lot of the tech stocks, especially the semiconductor stocks, are way over extended and also overbought. So it's quite natural, and I really wouldn't be surprised if I really see some form of the pullback and come back to test at least the swing low level here. All right, but at the moment, there is nothing threatening so far, apart from a bit of the shortening of the upward thrust. So it means that there is some form of the loss of the momentum to the upside with slightly above average of the volume. So suggesting that there is presence of supply. But until we see confirmation, the market is still going up at the moment. So we just need to be aware of that. And for Dow Jones is quite typical. It's just within this reaccumulation. So this is a reaccumulation, and we're having a sign of strength rally. Now it's just coming back to have a backup action, tested the axis area or axis line. So this is where the previous resistance now turned the support area. So now it's coming back and have a test. So I think that is relatively healthy at the moment. Don't really see anything threatening, but the market is having a pullback at the moment. And another thing that is very interesting, which I will talk more about the ETF of the Russell 2000 as well later, is this Russell 2000 index futures. So this is a huge reaccumulation range. So you can see that this is a huge range and lasted for close to a year, maybe 10 months. And recently it just broke out from the apex formation. So I draw the apex formation in blue here. So you can see that this is a breakout. So at the moment, it just come back to have a test of the breakout bar. So this is the breakout bar that we need to pay attention. And at the moment, we see that it's coming back and going to test this breakout bar, and also coincides with this area. So this is a support area. So if it can just bounce back up, I think that could be a very nice trading opportunities for traders. So do watch that kind of the movement as well. In terms of the volume, I see that supply is picking up. So I also see some kind of the demand tail here. So that means a lot of people also seeing this support area. So they tend to like to buy at this support area. So like the bottom reversal type of the trade. So hopefully it can just have some form of the support after it tested the breakout bar and have a reversal. I think that would be signaling a turning point here. So while the S&P 500 and also the Nasdaq are kind of overbought, so there's one possibility for the S&P 500 and also the Nasdaq 100 to have some kind of a rotation into Russell 2000 and also the Dow Jones. So in fact, Dow Jones, like if we look at the individual sector, like the industrial sectors, are doing very well. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the market. So short-term wise, just watch out for a pullback within the S&P 500 and also the Nasdaq. And also for Russell, we need to see whether there will be a reversal form within the area.